Hello everybody, and we are game mode. I'm Strinky, and let's get cracking. So we've got to do Death Row, which is the first one you do when you open up Prison Architect. But we'll have to redo it, because you have to unlock it to... And the volume is a bit... It's a bit loud, but I'll try and get as close to the microphone as possible. So the first time you load Prison Architect you get the same campaign, so I'm not doing any spoilers for anyone, unless you haven't ever opened it. We'll just absorb the whole thing that's going on. See all that's going on. We've got garbage, and here they are. Here is the priest, and here is here's the famous screenshot. So we get the call from the CEO. This is a tough one. There's a prisoner incarcerated at this facility who has been convicted of a double murder and sentenced to death. That's where we come in. We've been contracted to construct an execution chamber in time for the guy's big day. This is where I want the new facility to be built. The first step with any project like this is to construct the building itself, with enough space inside it to fit an execution room and a holding cell. So let's get started. Construct a new building here. We will also need an entrance to the new execution facility. Build a large shell door into the south wall. Okay, so we have to let's go for brick. It shows us what we have to do. Objects, large shell door. Your workmen are responsible for the construction of the buildings. They'll collect the steel and the concrete from the storeroom and take it to the construction site. They'll use these raw materials to build the foundations and framework of your new building. This is the slowest part of construction, so you should plan ahead when building new facilities. While we wait, take a look around, use the WASD keys to move around, and use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Okay, you can use WASD as well as the arrows. Good to know. Zoom in and out. You can get this far in. This will be ready. Okay, there we go. Inside the building I want a cell and an execution room. Partition the space by constructing some brick walls. He's gonna have a nice big cell. Oh, guys, I've got to get on it again. I think I can speed it up actually. Let's speed it up. Get them working faster. There we go. Now add large gel doors to those dividing walls. You can rotate an object before placement by clicking the middle mouse button or press R. I did not know that. That's easier. See, it's paying dividends. We can do this fast speed again. Middle mouse button. Must remember that. That's looking good. We now need to designate rooms within those spaces. Designate the cell in the smaller area while a condemned inmate will live. Then designate the execution room itself in the larger area. Okay, so cell, execution. There we go. Those new rooms have requirements before they become functional. The cell needs a bed and a toilet. The execution room requires the electric chair. Bed, toilet, electric chair. And speed up again. Can I add any workmen? Yes, I can. Don't have that much money though. Okay. Here it comes again. Right. That's the essentials taken care of, but there's still a few improvements you could make. It's up to you though, these aren't strictly required. It depends on how much you care about your prisoners and their environment. The cell itself could be improved with an outward facing window and a small bookshelf. And the facility would look better with a higher quality floor material, like wooden floorboards or mosaic tiles. Outside you could add some lighting and paved pathway if you think it needs it. So here we have what's his face and the priest. This is the man in question, Edward Rumsey. Or Rumsey. A teacher once, would you believe? It's not our place to decide if you deserve this. The law has made that decision. We're just here to do a job. Once you are satisfied with the facility, this facility is ready, you can begin the prisoner transfer to his new cell. Simply click on the Polaroid in his cell to initiate the transfer. Chief. Don't shed one tear for this guy. He's a stone cold killer. Guilty as charged. He even confessed. Want to hear his description of what he did? It's juicy stuff. It was around 11 PM, the lights were already on. I knew she was home. So here he is, Mr. Rumsey, or Rumsey. I'd catch you two here.
Edward,
Don't. Just don't.
what are you gonna do?
Kaboom! And that was that. And now he's here. Clear as day if you ask me. Hang on, that was Edward's voice. Clear as day if you ask me. He deserves every fault he's gonna get. All men deserve forgiveness, even him. Are you sure? Are you so sure in yourself that you can deal out such final judgment? Catching your wife with another man is no excuse for what he did. And he went there with a loaded gun knowing he'd find them together. That's double premeditated murder. He's done nothing but cooperate with the authorities. This state is making an example of him. If he'd committed his crime 100 miles north, he'd be looking at life imprisonment instead. How is that justice? Do you want a guy like this running free? I'll sleep just fine at night when I know he's gone. I should have acted out all of the voices really, but good work so far. However, there is one problem. The execution room isn't functioning yet because it doesn't have any power. We need to connect it to the electrical supply. That's overloaded. We're now viewing the prison in utilities mode, which shows us the electrical wiring layout for the entire prison. Each building in the prison is connected to the power grid by these thick underground electrical cables. Power is provided to the prison by the substation, which draws electricity from the national grid. As you can see, this entire wing of the prison cells is without power. All the lights are out. To fix this problem, we first need to switch into utilities mode to understand why the lights are without power. The nearest electrical cables are too far away. Our engineers can't complete the wiring for this area. Extend the electrical cables nearby to cover this wing of the prison. Simple stuff. There, I can probably keep bringing it down and over there, but I don't know how much electric it will take, really. Let's whack the speed up again. Oh, we've got a lot of money. That's the inflow. I'll get more workmen.
Pew, 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 pew.
Okay. Lights aren't the only thing that needs power. Your new electric chair does too. Use the power cables to connect it to the execution facility to the power grid. The electric chair itself is a special type of electrical item. It requires its own dedicated power line. You'll need to connect it up directly with mains cables. I thought it might need its own power station, but apparently not. But what they're going to do is they're going to have me connect it up, and then when I switch it on, it's going to take down the whole grid. And then they say you're going to need some capacitors to give you more power. We're almost done, I think. We should test the new execution room at least once before we try to use it, though. I'm just going to turn it on for a few seconds, make sure everything is okay. See? Well, that didn't work. Looks like we drew too much power and tripped the circuit breaker in the power station. The whole prison is dark. We're going to need more juice to be able to handle the power spike that electric chair generates. First we need to turn the power back on. This is a two-step process. Switch the power station back on by clicking on it and selecting switch on the menu that appears. Then build 3 more capacitors so we have enough power capacity to handle the electric chair. Once you've done that, test the electric chair again by clicking on it and selecting switch on in the menu. Switch on. Oh, they want them there. So 3 capacitors are enough for the electric chair. And back on fast, please. We got to do this here, don't we? Come on. Do it. Okay, finally. Okay. So now we can go over here and switch on. Well done. I believe we are finished with this job. What happens now is out of our hands. We did a professional job, and it's important in our business. Try not to worry about what happens next. It's really good that they built all sort of buildings out of the prison architect models. Apart from the few things like Jesus that they've added here. How can I help you? Are you looking for forgiveness?
I don't know. I have to do something. I can't live with the things I've done.
You have to turn yourself in. Whatever you've done, you cannot evade the consequences. You will never be able to live with yourself until you face up to your past.
I want to go back. I want to forgive her. I want her to forgive me.
God will forgive you no matter what you have done if you ask him to. But you must answer for your crimes in the eyes of the law. There is no other way. It's time, Edward. You have done the right thing, even though this world will not forgive you for it. You will be with God soon, and he will have the final judgment on you. Seeing the chair. Alright, once we've built Death Row in our prison, if you're following that series, of course, we haven't yet executed anyone, so I think I will continue to, yeah, I'm talking over the whole thingy. Edward Ramsey, you have been found guilty of 2 counts of murder in the 1st degree. The penalty is death. Do you have anything to say?
Susan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so as I was saying, our prison, I'll call it a day with our prison once we have finished everything in it and actually done an execution. I want to try and do one. Even though after this we haven't really done anything. So we're going to start chapter 2. But I think I'm going to leave it for next time. There's a crisis brewing, one of our facilities.